Okay, we're doing 5.7. We're going to investigate subtraction strategies of fractions with like denominators. On Thursday, you're going to be investigating subtraction strategies of fractions with unlike denominators. So it's good to have this practice in today. Why are we doing this? This should be really obvious. We're learning how to subtract fractions, right? Now, we know that addition and subtraction are opposite of each other. And it's why I really like this thought process right here with the unknown, starting with 7/8, subtracting out, we don't know, we're looking for the A for answer, and getting to 5/8, which is the known of this problem. We can do this in our head, it's just switching it around. 5/8 minus 2/8 is, 7/8 minus 2/8 is 5/8. I liked this strategy, so there's two representations of this where we had the 7/8. We're going to cut out the 5/8, and what we have left over are the 2/8. And I really like this representation with the number line. I thought all of them were very good. Where we started at 7/8, we bounced back 5 of the 8s to get to 2/8. And that's pretty much how you learn how to do addition and subtraction in the first place. I want to point a couple of ideas out that can be helpful to you today. Okay. Number one is, see if we can cut this out. Yes, excellent. Okay. Number one is you're going to run into having to do conversions. And I noticed some of you we've not been getting these conversions in, and it's something that we're going to have to start practicing. So maybe you run into like this for an answer, right? We're not going to accept this as an answer because it can be simplified. How can it be simplified even more? Yes, sir. So that 7/5, right? There's a hole in there, right? What would be the hole? It would be 5/5, right? So we take that out and there's 2/5 left over. So that hole gets added back to this, right? So now the proper answer is 4 2/5. Is everybody okay with this simplifying conversion with that? Excellent. It's something that you're going to have to start practicing more in your conversions. You are going to run into a problem like this. 1 and 1 minus 3/5, maybe. Okay? You're going to have to make a conversion. Okay? What can I convert this 1 into to be more helpful for us? Yes, sir. It's not zero. This is not 0 holes. What do I convert this into? Yes, sir. Same person. 5/5. So because we need to find that common denominator. When we can do 5/5 minus 3/5, we're in really good shape with our thought process here. And then one more thought here. And I don't know that you'll have to be doing this today, but I do want you to start thinking about this. Sometimes you'll get something like 3 and 1/8. I want to separate this actually. 3 and 1/8 minus 1 and 6/8. Okay. Just traditionally, we've been looking at everything like in place value, right? And fractions, when it comes to these mixed numbers, they carry their own place value. This is the ones place. Everything below this line, below that, and this is the fractions place. Okay. What's the problem? Can I subtract 6/8 from 1/8? No. Okay. So in this case, you're going to have to borrow or trade first. Okay. What's your thought process on this, sir? Yeah.
So, I did is I borrowed from the hole to make it 2 holes, and I added and then I did 8, and then 1 whole equals 8/8, so then I add those together to get 9/8. So now you do, oh wait,
Yeah, that's good. Absolutely.
Oh,
Yep. So now you do 6/8 minus 9/8.
and what I got when I did 9/8 minus 6/8 is 3/8.
And then 2 minus 1.
Is 1.
Okay. So yeah, so the old trade first or borrow from the place value, what he had to do was convert that 1 whole into that 8/8, so it would have a common denominator. He added them together so that he had enough to subtract from this. Thumbs up, thumbs sideways, thumbs down. How you feeling about that trade first involving the mixed numbers here? Excellent.